Om Shanti. Today was offering of bhog to Baba, but together with Baba to Didi Manmohini. And I have many, many sweet memories of my times with Didi, traveling in India, traveling with her abroad. But the song describes the last year of her life when she had this mantra, it's time to go home, it's time to go home. And she had this mantra throughout that whole period for about a year and a half before she left and flew away. And so that was Didi's preparation. Time to go home, time to go home. But throughout her life she had another mantra, and that was Ek Bal, Ek Bharosa, one strength, one support. Her Lokik name was Gopi, and it's a reminder of the gopis who were with Krishna. For the word Gopi actually means the one who has conquered the senses, the physical senses, and gone beyond the senses. And so Didi, the very first person to recognize Baba and surrender, and she gave up her Lokik, both families, in-laws and parents' family, in an instant. Once she recognized Baba, it was just total surrender. And in fact, 6 members of her family, Didi, Shilendra Dadi, Queen Mother, Baba gave Didi's mother this very lovely name, Queen Mother, and then her cousins, Amrit Shanta Dadi and her sister and her mother, 6 members of one family surrendered. And their faith, their courage, their stability was huge. And in particular Didi, of course. And from the very start, Baba recognized her special qualities, and she was Baba's confidant from that very beginning through until Baba flew away. But after that, when Shiv Baba came in January, then Baba placed a rose on Didi's head and on Dadiji's head and said, these are the ones who will look after you all. And at another time, soon after that, Baba said, Didi is the might and Dadiji is the mic. And so Dadiji, the public-facing person, and Didi, the one behind, providing the power, the yoga power, to support the yajna and keep the yajna on track and move things forward. So many, many things about Didi, but also just her amazing intellect, absolutely clear, powerful, very incisive. And so Didi's drishti was filled with yoga power. Didi's drishti gave people courage to do what was right, what was needed. Didi's drishti was famous. She carried souls beyond with her glance. So I'll stop here, and I'm sure that Charuben and Maniben and Pratap Bhai will also share something.
Om Shanti. The feeling has been that since morning, before even Amrit Vela, Didi is actually already everywhere, because the whole world is offering bhog for Didi, remembering Didi so much. So it's more kind of the feeling is that she's around and sending the light, might to everywhere in all four corners. I had met Didi once. That was the first time going to Madhuban, and did have opportunity, fortune to see her. And what I felt that years, as Chandiben also mentioned, the drishti. Her drishti was very powerful. She did a lot of work, service through her drishti, and it made many people's lives, and to the point that they would want to surrender, want to make their life very elevated. And she gave personally sustenance to a lot of brothers and sisters from different categories, whether it's Madhuban Nivasis, the sisters, brothers looking after the centers, Kumaris, Kumars, the new ones, new Baba's children. On a different level, she really gave very powerful sustenance so that their lives also changed in the way that Baba would want us to change. So it's really nice that we started hearing Didi's specialities, the teachings for us, and really such a good reminder, very powerful reminder, and inspiration, powerful inspirations from her. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. I have many memories of Didi Ji. She came to London and she also came to Loughborough. And year after that, I got a chance to travel with Dadi Janki to Madhuban, and I was there for a long time, from October to April. And we became very, very close. She was number one student. And one of the things she used to like, she was very playful. She will ask you a question from the Murli, and she will fail you. And she used to love that. When I was taking leave in April, mid-April, I was coming back here. And she was sitting like here, Daddy was sitting here, and I was sitting on the floor. And she said, everything is okay. And I said, of course, I have good blessings of seniors, can't go wrong. And she failed me again. She said, Bhagat. She says, you don't have to remember me, you don't have to remember Dadi Janki. As Jantiben said, her slogan was, Ek Bal, Ek Bharosa, one strength and one support. Om Shanti.
Pratap, please come. Jamiben, please come. Welcome back to Pratap Bhai, and congratulations for the Bharat Gaurav Award.
Om Shanti. Didi was the perfect student, which whenever we would go to Madhuban, Didi would sit in the front row on the side sofa, and she would always have her notebook with her, and she would take notes. And I still remember whenever we would receive letters from Didi, half of the letter would be full of Murli points, and only half would be business. Sometimes even 1/3 would be business, 2/3 would. And she was so straightforward. She would not really go around and tell you something. I remember in 1970, it was August, when I first went to Madhuban. She knew our family. And the moment, she was the first person whom I met. And when I met her, the words which we said, sometimes it, really give you a shock, but they were truth. She said in Hindi, कि इतनी देर से आए हो अपने नाम को ही बट्टा लगा दिया. You have disgraced your name because you have come so late. Because my parents had been going to Madhuban since 61, but I went in 70. So Didi was very straight. Whenever I would go to Madhuban, I would sit with her, share with her even my job problems, sometimes family problems. She would advise so lovingly. And so lovingly as Drishti was powerful, but the love was evident in every word which she would speak. That was her specialty. With love she would say anything, and you would feel honored that Didi is giving you some kind of inputs for your personal life. That was most important. And, I would see her even at Brahma Bhojan. Didi would be silently taking her food. Sometimes he would sit on floor and have bhojan, and I had the opportunity to just be opposite her. And it was so lovingly seen. She had traveled to Chandigarh also. Once I took her for sightseeing, and I was the only person who was accompanying her throughout Chandigarh. So I took her to the rock garden. Didi says, "Mutha mujhe phasa diya." It was such long because she had difficulty in walking. So I said, "Didi, I'm sorry." But she was so lovingly that she would say anything.
I have to translate in English what she said.
It's so loving. Love was all evident. I must say, she had so much love for Baba, but so much love for the family. That was really would move you. Sometimes tears would come to your eyes when you meet her. I would make it a point because luckily she was, those days administration wise, Didi was given the part to look after Punjab. So every time I would definitely meet her, give her my chart, and she would advise so lovingly. I still remember once, my parents were not agreeing on something. So I told Didi, "What should I do?" Didi says, "You stay away. You don't have to interfere in that." So it was good, all these special souls were unique, and they were so much embodiment of Baba that you could feel Baba's presence in them. Thank you.
Thank you. Om Shanti. Jayanti Ben is the bridge, passing the mic around. She's the bridge between London and Madhuban. So welcome, Jayanti Ben. It's nice to see you. You've done tremendous seva there, heard all the news. Yeah, for me, Didi was wonderful. And the first time I went to Madhuban with Sudesh Didi, in those days when we arrived in Madhuban, our guide would take us to Dadis. And so I went first to Didi, because Sudesh Didi, her heart was very close to Didi. And when Didi looked at me, she said, "Ek bal, ek bharosa." So this is also the blessing that Bap Dada had given me. One strength and one support and one faith. That was the first line Didi uttered for me. And she gave me a gold ring. And something that Didi had powerful recognition, and she had power to discern, was very clear and very, very precise. Didi made very, very right decisions in the yajna. There are many, many stories, and I also had a fortune because of Dadi Janki, who had beautiful quality of bringing us closer to the seniors in Madhuban. So Dadi made my plan to travel with Didi, and this is the second time I went to Madhuban to Indore. Now that was a very beautiful experience. Didi, Lachuben, and myself, and 3 of us traveling together. That was excellent experience. We were away for 4 to 5 days.
So I really thank Didi. Even in my heart today, I remember her, and her drishti is enabling me to really be powerful and be very focused and be precise in my decisions. So I emerge Didi all the time in my mind. Om Shanti, and I thank Didi. Om Shanti.
And we'll now have Murali, and then there's after that special bhog. Om Shanti.